Hi and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about ChatGPT and also we're going to talk about two other tools that you can use for content creation. So let's get started. I'm sure everybody has at least heard of ChatGPT till now. So what can you do with ChatGPT? You could just, for example, simply go to ChatGPT. You just have to sign up for it. It could be possible that it's pretty hard at the moment to sign up because a lot of people are using it at the moment and the servers are really overloaded and they don't really allow new people at certain times to register anymore. So we have some examples here that we could just press and see what the answer is. Got any creative ideas for 10 years old birthday? So just click that. You can ask ChatGPT anything that you want to. So it will list some points, so 10 ideas, what they could do on their birthday. But of course, there's many other ways that you can use it. If you use it for business purposes, you could go ahead and ask ChatGPT what are the best money making business ideas for 2023. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. As an AI language model, it tells us that it doesn't have data for 2023, but it still lists the e-commerce businesses, for example. It lists the mobile app development. It lists online education. So it has got a pretty good database about what you should do. And you can even ask it what products, for example, in e-commerce, you could sell. So you could ask what products are selling best on Amazon. And of course, this data, keep in mind, is not the latest data, but I'm sure in one of the next versions of ChatGPT, it will be at the point where the Bing engine is at the moment, that they will be able to pull in data from the internet. So they will have the latest data. So it's starting to list here electronics, home and kitchen, health and personal care, beauty and personal care, toys and games, and so on. But this, of course, is information that is not the latest information. You can, of course, also ask ChatGPT to write something for you. And for the purpose of this video, I want to imagine that we are writing a blog post, we're generating a piece of content, we're doing some ads for a website that is actually listing AI tools. So we could say, write me a blog post, 500 words about the best AI tools. I'm not using the 2023 in this case because it will again tell us that it doesn't know anything about 2023. And of course, as an example, this is probably not the best one because if the chat engine doesn't have any data, then it can't tell us. But I just want to show you that it is able to give us data, but this data are quite old, or this data is 2, 3, 4 years old. And at this time, it was the Google Cloud AI platform, the IBM Watson, that was quite popular some years ago, that has basically been taken over by all these AI companies. Salesforce, Einstein. So these are pretty old informations, but you can see the point where I'm leading it to. In most of the industries, this will definitely work. And like I told you, in some weeks or months, we will have a version of ChatGPT that will know all the latest information. And in Bing, you already have that implemented. So all the new Windows machines have the ability to have something like the ChatGPT. I'm not sure if they're using the same engine and also the latest information. So we'll just stop this and also ask it to write some more content for us. But of course, this works for most of the other industries. So if you are a marketing agency, you could just type in, write me a blog post about the best SEO tricks, and it will just write. Of course, if you want to have more words, and you can also put in the type you want it to write, especially if you write something for an ad. I will show you later on that you can put in something like direct response style or something like that. So now it's starting to write here. Sure, here's a 500-word blog post about the SEO tricks. And you recognize already that it was remembering first I asked 500 words on top here, and now it again took this suggestion to write this blog post. So you see it's starting to write here. It takes quite a long time at the moment, as probably the servers are pretty maxed out, but it's writing for us and it will still save a lot of time. You can use that for your website. Of course, you can generate a lot of content for not much money. You just need to be lucky at the moment to be able to access the Chat GPT, and I would recommend to upgrade it and pay a little money for it. Then you can do some stuff like pulling it in with your own API, and you have most of the time still access even if the servers are overloaded. So here it's writing the blog post for us. And what we can already do is take a piece of the blog post and try to find out if this is actually unique content. Why is that important? Especially if you want to rank for your content, then it's important because Google can figure out as well, of course, if this is AI generated content, and Google doesn't want to have any AI generated content ranking because this would be too easy, I guess. So we'll just copy this piece of content here and copy it into a tool that is able to detect AI generated content. So this website is just copyleaks.com. We'll just copy in this paragraph here and check it. And you see it's marking everything red. And unfortunately, this is 99.3% AI generated content. So the tool recognizes that that is AI generated content. So probably this is not the kind of content you should use to put on your website. So we can go back. We'll stop the generation here. And what I wanted to show you is even if you try to make it pretty strange, let's say you want to write or have ChatGPT writing a story for a children book. So we could say, write me a story about a green rabbit and a blue cat walking on a mountain looking for, what could we say, some new world. Let's just use that. So you will see it will come up with a pretty good story. And it started already once upon a time in a far off land. There was a green rabbit named Peter and a blue cat named Bella. So it's starting to generate this content. But what I want to find out now is this content unique? Because it actually should be unique. The input was very unique and not pretty normal. So we'll just take this, go back to the AI checker, put it in and check it again. And unfortunately, you see that this is an AI generated content detected as well, 99.9% in this case. So I'm not too sure how it works, but it probably is something that it's able to recognize the words. Or it's also possible that the tool grabbed some kind of story that is already existing and putting just, maybe there's a rabbit called Peter. I know that there's some story. So maybe it's just using this story and overlaying the commands that we gave the bot. But it's not good that it's detected as artificial intelligence here. And to write a children's book or make a presentation, use it in social media, this is probably fine. But if you use it for SEO purposes, I cannot recommend to use that or do that because you will not rank. So we saw now that ChatGPT is a great engine. You can ask it everything. The problem is that the database is still at the stage of 2021. This will change, as we talked about, and that it's not producing unique content. This is also a big problem, especially if you want to create SEO content. The next tool I want to have a look at is WriteSonic. WriteSonic is also one of these tools that are claiming to be better than ChatGPT. They have a new tool here. They call it ChatSonic. I will just click on it and see what it is. So if I click down here, I want to look at the features list. They say ChatSonic features integrated with Google. So this is one of the biggest advantages, it seems, because they claim that they have a connection to Google. They can pull out the latest content out from the search engine, and this will give us a big advantage because then we should actually have data from today or the very latest data. And with ChatGPT, as we saw in the last section or in the last video, we saw that the problem is that the data is from 2021. AI image generation, so it's also able to generate images. It's gonna probably use a Midjourney API or some other API. Voice commands, you can speak it into it. Remember the questions. So this is actually the same as in ChatGPT. If you remember, I put in the word count of a blog post, and in the next one, it took the same word count, but it also should remember what it is all about. So if you ask one time, like, how old is, I don't know, Michael Jackson, or was Michael Jackson when he died? And then in the next question, you ask what was his favorite pet or something like that. The engine should know that you're still talking about Michael Jackson. So this is very related. Text to speech, so it says like Siri or Google Assistant, edit, copy, download, and so on. Talk to ChatSonic as a specific person like a teacher, fitness trainer, etc. Okay, that sounds very good. So let's try it out. There's some examples here, right? Some content here, and it tells us that it is the latest data from February 2023. They create a digital image, GIF, voice command, and use case email, articles, and so on. So I will try the first one here, and I will just ask it to write me an article about the best AI tools in 2023. Just try that out. Send it. And in the case of ChatGPT, as you remember, there was the problem that if you put in the date 2023, it will give us the information that it doesn't have the data from this age, and then it will still generate something. But we saw this is pretty old AI tools 2-3 years ago. And let's see what comes up here. So it tells us here that actually it has data from 2023. And then it's in this case, I think it didn't really understand the question right, because I asked, write an article about the best AI tools in 2023. So it's giving us the machine learning, NLP, computer vision. So it's more or less giving us some types of what the AI is actually doing. So it's okay for us. We can try something else as well. But what I want to find out now is if this is really unique content. We're just copy in this first part. I go back to our magic checking tool. I just copy it in here. and I will check it again. And unfortunately, you will see that it's 98.2% all of the content. There is no white spaces in there, so all of the content is detected as AI generated. So this is a problem again if you want to use it for SEO purposes. We can go back again and check out some more tools. So if I click back here and I click on the JetSonic again, maybe we can try to generate an image. Let's try it out. So if I click here, it tells me down there, create an HD wallpaper with super cool sports or racing car on the track. I want to change it because create a HD wallpaper with the world in the future. So let's see what's coming up here. Probably this is sending the prompt to Midjourney or some other image generation engine. Let's just see how it comes out. I think this is a pretty useful tool because it can be implemented in your blog articles. And these are two of the versions that are actually coming out. I don't really like that, but we could probably try to make it more detailed. So you can also use this tool to generate some titles. Let's say you make Facebook ads, you make LinkedIn ads, or Google ads, or whatever. I would just click on it and say, for example, you want to, let's call it AI tools list, and then the company name would be here AI 7.solutions. And then I write in here the best AI tools for 2023, best AI picks, whatever. So the keywords can be AI tools, best AI tools, English, and premium quality. I just leave it like it is. I click on generate, and it will generate me, I think, 369 titles that I can use in my AdWords. The thing I don't like with that is, why doesn't it just generate also the descriptions for me? Because now I have the title, but I have to jump into another tool and generate the description as well. Get the best AI tools for 2023. Pretty good. Discover the best AI picks. Also good. Unlock your potential with AI 7 solutions. Unlock the power. Yeah, it's pretty good. Just pick one. But I think this is all you can do. I can give it some stars or bookmark it or whatever, but I cannot take these titles and generate descriptions out of it. So I like the tool, but I like the tool more to use it for ads like LinkedIn, Facebook, or Google Ads to generate the titles. And the problem is, like we have seen, that it's not unique. The content is not unique. This is a big problem, especially if you want to use it for SEO purposes. I found this very interesting tool, which is focused very much on SEO, an AI content tool you don't need to hide. So it's called outranking.io. And I want to show you what you can do with that. You need some time to use this tool because it's pretty advanced and you can do a lot with that. So let's imagine we want to write some content about, again, the best AI tools for 2023. I generate a new document. And as I generate the document, it will ask me for the keywords again. I will just say best AI tools for 2023 again, create a new document. And then what it will do is it will go out on the internet and use Google to research what are actually the articles that are ranking, what kind of content do they have, and what words should be used, what headlines, what information. It will then make a rating of all these websites. So it will give you a score. The score will be from 0 to 100, and it will tell you that the competitors, for example, have an overall score of 70, and then your score would be something like 81 or something like that. We will see that in a moment. So we'll start now to pick a title. It's suggesting me there 2023 top AI tools for business, software, service, and technology. 15 best AI tools for 2023, tools to automate, optimize, and complete your work. I think I like that. We'll just take that, but I will edit it a little. So I want to use this one here, and I will just go and remove that because it should be best AI tools for 2023, tools to, I will just AI tools to automate. I like that. I will just go ahead and click on here. I will see that the optimization of the title is pretty good. It's high. Then one thing we're missing is tools, business tools. We can have a look if we can integrate it into the title, maybe optimize and complete your work. That's okay. I think we leave the title like that. Then we'll just continue here. And you see here we have the score. So the score from the competitors, so the score that we have at the moment is 30 and the target score is 92. So probably the competitors have around 90. And it's now giving us here on the side the tools, but the outline I think is not pretty good. So just for the purpose of showing you how the tool actually works, I will remove some of it. But normally you would use the tool in a way that you see the content here on the left side. You see all the content, all the headlines from your competitors. And by clicking on here, you can integrate it into your, so it shows up here now. You can integrate everything to your article. These are the headlines that you will have in your content. You can move them up or down by just clicking here and moving them up. You can click on them. And what is interesting is that you can click on here, for example, on the H3 ideas, and it will come up with even more ideas about that. Sometimes it doesn't seem to work, but if you click on it 2 or 3 times, it often works to generate some ideas. So in some cases, it's not finding any ideas, but probably with the Watson one, it's finding ideas. So if the H2 or if the H3 is not giving you any ideas anymore, it seems like you already have covered it in the content, or it's not finding any other ideas. In the case of the IBM Watson, it found here overview of IBM Watson, pros and cons of IBM Watson. So you would go through that content, and everything you like in this content, every headline you like, you would just take and copy over, and it will be in this list. But for the purpose of this video, I will just remove some of it because the tool can take quite a long time. It can take up to 15 minutes to generate content. So we'll just leave some of them inside. I will just leave the 3 inside, and then I will move on to continue. And now from this point on, the tool will already generate content for you. Because we have just 10 sections, it will probably take 5 or 6 minutes to generate the content. What the tool is doing now, it's presenting us the headline already, but it's now writing the sections. And it's taking the headlines we gave the tool before on the right side. You remember we took all the headlines basically from competitors' websites that are ranking very well. And the tool will go out now, use these headlines. Here you see already the SEO.ai, and is writing some content about it. And it already started to write the IBM Watson one. It's giving us the overview. As you remember, this was the H3 headline, and it's taking these keywords now to put the information into the internet and get out the information. Let's see what comes out of this article and how the score will basically develop here. You will see that the score will go up the more the tool writes. But in the meantime, let's find out if this is actually unique content or not. I think it will not let me copy everything. So let's see. I will go back to the tool and I will refresh the tool. We'll copy in the content again and check what is actually coming out. This case, you see, it's already much better than most of the tools you see here. It's probably for humans. So in this case, it's artificial intelligence detected. Here it's artificial intelligence detected. So some parts you have to be careful. I would recommend to replace some of the parts that are too artificial. You could copy that out and even go to ChatGPT. So if you copy these red parts, for example, let's use that as example. Go back. You could even go into the ChatGPT and say, rewrite this. Rewrite this for me, just copy it in, and ChatGPT will rewrite it for us. And let's see what is coming up with, because if we use this now, so I will just copy this. It's much shorter now, as you see. I will copy this and go back to the checking engine, refresh it one more time, copy in the content, check it. And unfortunately now it's all artificial intelligence generated, so I cannot recommend to do that. So try the tool. You can use the outranking tool to generate some new parts of the content if you're not happy with it. This is possible to do. Let's go back and see what came out here. If you look at the score, what is the score that we have at the moment? So we have 63, 92 would be the target. And you can see on the right side actually the words that are missing. So it's recommended to use all these words. So you see the typical use of, let's say here, artificial intelligence technology is 1 to 8, and we don't use it at all. You could click on this and it will pull in the data. You could just click on that or copy it and then put it into the content and work like that. And then the score will go up. And the goal is really to have a very high score. And of course, you can edit it. You can even have it write an introduction, a conclusion. At the end, you just copy it out, copy it onto your website. There's also a WordPress plugin that you can use. And as you see, this is till now the best tool we found to generate unique content and also to be able to structure your content in a very good way. So you have the H1 headline, you have the H2s, the H3s, and it's able to pull in information. I would recommend to modify the information, of course, and make sure it's not artificial content. I hope that was useful, and I see you in one of the next videos. Bye bye, see you. Take care.